A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start here with Jackson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On 2nd down, this is Jackson twisting away. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. 42 yards. So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Go!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Hey, Haywood! 198, watch 98, 98 to Mike. Come on, D! 198, watch 98, 98 to Mike. Hey!
They're going to look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First and 10 at the 37.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5.
61, Matchbox Lights. 5.
Coming right, this is Charles. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's now third down and 6.
Yellow, I know, little lady. Come, baby, come, baby.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a first and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Charlie!
Back to throw now on second and 10. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
On second down now, it's Charles. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Here we go with Charles. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. On first and 10, Dawson. They complete it to Hill. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. A first down carry here for Charles. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter from Arrowhead, it's the Chiefs in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
It's going to be a long day. Go. 198. Watch 98. 98's the mic. Target. Hey. Target. 198. Watch 98.
They'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Look at me. Go. Hey, wahoo. 198. Now.
He'll look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's going to go down again.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
60 or. I got you. Check. 25. Check 25. Hard. 36. Check Nick. Hey, Sam up. Yep. Shoot.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Hey, Delta. Look at me. Zipper. Ready?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Leo. Kill. Slam. Hey, high 7.
He'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Ready up. Who draw Porter? No. Go.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's caught by Jackson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this 1st half, but he's got a 1st down here. They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Check it back. Bravo. Go.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Hey, Orvin. Check 31. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Look. Squeeze. Snap.
They'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Throwing to start the drive. Dawson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. It's caught. Reception by Holmes. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to have a 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Come on, QB, come on. 198. Watch 98. 98 to Mike. Rapid. Five. 198. Watch 98. 98 to Mike.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll run with Allen. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
X3, 218, chop it. Rock it. Hey, Foxtrot. 198, watch 98, 98 to Mike. Go. Hit it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him?
And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety.
Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that could alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
A throw left side complete to Biletnikoff.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Slam, slam, slam. Hey, echo. Hey. Ready?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to wind up in air. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Matchbox lights. Hey, Sam on. Hey, exit. Yeah.
Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
To the sideline and incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Ready?
So back-to-back
70,
incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, Charlie. Go.
He'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Wells. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Here we go.
A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No side of the field goal unit.
Watch 98. 98 to Mike. So we got man. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Get it.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he fires one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about Hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Watch the call. Watch the call.
They'll run with Jackson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. Cut. Go. 198. Watch 98. 98 to Mike. Check. 198. Watch 98. 98 to Mike. Here we go, D. All day. Defense. All day. 198. Watch 98. Speed dribble.
Looking to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
It's a gain of 7.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Check. Crunch.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 5. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off near the 44, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Set. Topper. Let's see what you got.
They run on 1st down with Jackson.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. That good for 19 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Ready, ready. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
Back to throw now on first down. This will be caught by Brown. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
Here we go. Set. 10 Lobo. 80 weapons. Get.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
So it's third and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough.
Bravo. Now. Motion. Now.
They'll look to throw. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Here's Mahomes to throw. That's complete. It's Charles. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's caught to Charles. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it's a second down. So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Mahomes going to throw, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. Third and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now here's Mahomes. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know.
It got his man complete. And all the way in. and touchdown, Oakland. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Charles. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Mahomes. And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
It's now 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hey, check.
Chiefs 2.
Three down. Peek it. Finish the game.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Shift. Attack.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Ready? 60 outlaw. 98 to Mike. I'm going to come back to you. 6-6. Pull it high. Yep. Get him.
On 1st down, it's Jackson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 8 read. X3. 218. Chopper. You better be afraid of me. Hit it.
2nd and 13. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Okay, my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
They'll set up a throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let this one go deep right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 19. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
Ready. 50, plant. Go.
They'll run on 1st down. Jackson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready, set. General West. Hey, orbit. Go. Hey. Motion. Yeah, get it.
He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down near the 5. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? The Chiefs on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Holmes. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Jackson. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
198. Hey, dude. Hey, come on, come on, 198. Watch 98. 98's the mark.
They'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt, just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
So don't say nothing. Check 26, check 26. Kill. Look, squeeze. You got tight. You got tight right there. Fight.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it,
under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Watch 98. 98's the mic.
Hey.
He'll look to throw. It's caught by Jackson. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And his kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Line, tight end to the right, boy, tight end to the right. Move. We got three, fellas, we got three. Back. Attack.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw, it's Mahomes. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. They'll look to set up his blockers. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Let's go now.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you.
And now here is another interception. Picked off right around the 43. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch time. Tight end right.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. Now, it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot